Hello everybody and welcome back to Monster Hunter World. Well, today we're gonna fight Brachydios. I'm using the hammer because I'm insanely out of practice and I feel like I might remember how to use this.
If Brachydios is known for anything, it's slime. That and a pair of guns that'll even make the chef jealous.
Okay, for some reason, I have things that are very pissed at me. They don't need to be pissed at me. I just wanna... Not what I wanted. I just wanna find Brachydios. That is, though. I have a feeling Brachydios is gonna... Because he is a blast thing, so I have a feeling he will be... this way. Before we find the monster, I'm gonna tell you what I want to try and talk about. What I want to try and talk about, originally I wanted to actually try and talk about advertising and how, and the various forms that it takes and the various tricks it uses. And then I watched a video on the past 10 years of anime. And it made me think, and what it made me think about was actually how I hadn't noticed a change. I'll go into more once I actually find the monster. You know, I found one footprint earlier, and that was it. But because I got attacked by the birds, I wasn't able to use the scoutflies to try and keep track of where the trail was. Fucking wyverns. Fucking hate bird wyverns. There we go! Okay. Let's see. What is Outer Monsters intro? What are we gonna get? Ooh. Like, I think I know... I don't remember what Brachydios looks like. I've only... I only saw him the one time, watching a video on an older game. I think he's got fists that are sticky. Okay. Looks like... Yeah. Oh. That doesn't look like what I want. That's an Uragon. That's a Crimson Chin. Oh. I sort of had a feeling that we'd have he would attack something, because why else would you put other monsters on the field, right? Nah, just so far the old world monsters have attacked something from the new world in their intros.
Touch it and it could explode.
Yes, I know. There we go. Okay, so what I want to talk about is actually, I did not very much notice the change in anime over the past 10 years. Because, from my perspective, like, it's not, because, like others, I only started watching anime recently. It's actually the exact opposite. I started watching anime at the start of the last decade. In 2011. But that means I didn't have the previous decade to look at. Oh, okay. I'm screwed. I couldn't look at the how anime was in the previous decade, or anything like that. All I knew for the longest time was the way that anime was at at the time that I have found it, which was actually the first anime I ever watched was Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood on Netflix. Oh, okay. But that results in I didn't actually pay attention to how things change towards seasonal anime and so on, because I thought I wasn't aware that that wasn't how it was, because I was through the time that change was going on, I was personally transitioning away from watching older shows to seeing if there was anything new that had come out that was just as good as those older shows that I would watch before. So, because I had not watched all of those older shows that people raved about for all those years, as of that point. So, during that transition, for me, it was overshadowed by my own personal transition. So I didn't notice the general change in how things happened. Of course. Ow. Of course! Ow! And I'd like to know about, for you all as well, like, did you go through a distinct change? Because I know at this point, a large portion of you, have watched or do watch some anime. And that's not just that, and I guess that's another change, that I hadn't really noticed because I was more of an introvert during that time. I did not actively try and speak about my hobbies because even if it was a quote-unquote normal hobby, I did not feel comfortable talking about them. At least not with the people that I knew. I would like you all to tell me if you have been watching anime for long enough to see that distinct change throughout the past decade. Because now that I look back on it, I can see that change. I don't actually have as much to say on this as I thought I did, so I guess I'll try and cover the advertisement thing. There we go. So, one thing that, about the advertisement thing... Oh, you're paralyzed. Okay, that's cool. One thing about the advertising thing that I'd like you to notice is how often, it's also, I don't know if it's still going on, because I haven't seen ads in a long time. But how often, does an ad feel like it doesn't want you to know what it's trying to get you to buy? Or what it's trying to sell to you? Because sometimes, watching advertisements in the past, there were two types of advertisements that I would notice. The ones that very clearly wanted you to know what they wanted you to buy, like what they were trying to sell you, and then the ones that were trying to be coy about what they were selling you, like not barely showing it on screen, or not actually naming the product. Like a lot of shoe commercials are like that. I can't tell that they're shoe commercials at first because I spend so much time, like they're showing off people wearing the shoes, but a lot of the time I've seen, like, well, not a lot of the time, sometimes I see that instead of actually just showing the shoes, it's more on who is wearing the shoe, like what athletes are wearing the shoe, and that's what the advertisement focuses on, and it doesn't actually say anything. So it's less like it wants me to figure out what they're doing, and more like it just wants me to investigate the name that shows up at the end of the thing and find out information on my own. And I'd like for you all to think on that and see if you notice it in ads that you've watched yourself. Damn it! Asshole! Soon as I got here. Yeah! Fuck each other up. Oh, let's return back away from to the anime subject, away from the advertising, because I did have something else that I thought about. One of the biggest differences that I have been able to note now, and I did over time, was the availability of anime. Because I mentioned that the first anime I ever watched was Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood on Netflix. But the thing about that is that if anyone remembers, back in if you watched it back then on Netflix, in 2011, Netflix did not have the entire thing on streaming. And in fact, they only had about the first half of the show available on instant streaming. Okay, fuck off, you big bastard. Can someone who's not trying to kill me, like, show up? Because I just want to find my opponent. I'd prefer a different environment, but you take what you can get, right? But to those of you who are wondering why it was that way, okay, please, no, get out of this area. I rolled the wrong way. I am stunned. No, I'm not. I am not stunned. I am getting the fuck out of dodge because he is re-inflating his fists. Well, he is re-gooing his fists. But the I need to stop saying that. When I watched the show, it took me nearly 5 years to finish because of that difference, like, in availability. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, for me, I watched it through Netflix, and with only about the first half being available on instant, that meant I had to put on my delivery queue the DVDs, which, if anyone who was around at the time can tell you, those DVDs were consistently backlogged. Like, people wanted those DVDs, but Netflix only had so many of them, to the point that you would put them on your queue and you'd be put on, like, this months-long waiting list. And it wasn't just a, oh yeah, I'll just put them here and be on the waiting list. Because you had, like, if you wanted to watch the show in order, you'd obviously want to have the DVDs delivered in order, and because it was multiple DVDs, it wasn't just one thing. I think there was only like 5 episodes per DVD. So that resulted in you had to wait until you had received one of them to put another one on your queue. Wow. So you would have to wait until you had received disc 1, watch disc 1, and then you could put yourself on the waiting list for disc 2. Otherwise, you would likely end up with disc 3 or 4 before you had even seen disc 1 because of the waiting list. Whereas, in stark contrast to how it is now, where, while we're no longer in the golden age of streaming, in regards to getting a hold of them, you do know where you can get a hold of them, and it's not just going to be months and months of waiting for a single copy of a disc that other people are requesting as well. Would y'all piss off? I just tried to sharpen my weapon and you just roared me out of it 4 times. I don't appreciate that. Okay, let me do this. Yeah, kick the snot out of each other. It's appreciated. I'll be right here. Have fun with that. Oh, I'm dead. I am gonna die. Yep. Oh, lovely. As soon as I get here, I start trying to dung bomb them. The Rathalos, so that it leaves. And no, I just waste 3 dung bombs. Yes, cat. I wish there was a way to just tell my cat to not do anything. Bracky left this area as well. He's back in the bullshit zone, ain't he? Oh no, he's right there. Okay, that's cool. Okay, he's limping now. Huzzah. Sorry, but I won't be taking advantage of your kindness, Grimmelkine. Thank you. I'm almost out of time. Oh my god, this video is... I have so much to edit out. I know it's been nerfed. There we go. Okay.
That just leaves Tigrex. Want to head back for a quick rest first?
And I'd like to know you all's opinion on both subjects. Like, do you know of the type of advertisements I'm talking about? The ones that seem to vaguely not want you to find out what the thing is through the advertisement, but instead are just trying to get you to look up the name with flashy colors and fancy lighting. As well as, have you personally observed the change over the past 10 years for how anime is accepted more, easier to acquire, and the way we actually bother to, well, view it? Oh, I can finally stop using the shield spire! Here you go, I forgot. Y'all probably want to see some of this stuff, so... there you go. Alright, so this is the Brachydios armor. It's very spiky. He wasn't very spiky himself. That doesn't make much sense. Like, where's the spiky motif coming from for that one? That one looks more like shells instead of spikes, so I guess that one gets a pass. I do hope that you all enjoyed this video, and I'd love to hear your all's opinion on one Brachydios. He's sort of like a boxer, it seems. Like if a monster could be a boxer, but at the same time, he's very explosive. So I'd love to hear your opinion on that. I'd love to hear your opinion on the advertising and the anime subjects that I covered, as well as anything else that you might have to say about any of the three things that happen in the game, or just the game in general. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like down below, as well as, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so that you won't miss a video or a live stream when they happen. And remember, smile. Even if yours isn't as explosive as Brachydios. Hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll see y'all next time. Goodbye, guys.